JT Jackson. I'm the Chief Range Safety Officer here at Openrange. I'd like to discuss with you why we do certain things here at Openrange that you may not find at other ranges. First and foremost, we want to make sure everybody has a safe and a fun experience here at Openrange. So let's talk about safety first. Our safety rules are right over here. First, we're always going to keep the gun pointed in the safe direction. Now on the range, the safe direction is downrange at the backstop, not at the floor, not at the ceilings. Second safety rule, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. So the last thing we want you to do is put your finger on the trigger. So remember, just keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you intend to fire a shot. Third safety rule, always keep the gun unloaded until it's ready to use. So you're not going to have that gun loaded until your target's down range and you're ready to fire. Now let's talk about some of the things other than safety rules that make sure everybody has a safe and a fun experience here at Openrange.
I can't hand off a loaded weapon. He doesn't know how to load it. So
we do not allow the handing off of weapons, whether it's loaded or unloaded here at Openrange. And the reason is because that's the time an accidental or a negligent discharge could occur. To prevent that, we want the magazine out of the gun, the action locked to the rear, the gun on the bench with the muzzle facing downrange and the ejection port facing up, so everybody can see from walking behind that gun is empty. Anytime the next shooter comes up behind the gun, all they have to do is pick up the gun, insert a magazine, drop the slide, they're ready to go. Now, we have some people say, well, my friend doesn't know how to do this, or my kids aren't strong enough to do this. If they can't physically do it themselves, that's probably not the gun they should be firing. If you want to learn an experience, we have other rental guns that they're probably able to operate a little bit easier, or we can teach them another method that you may not have thought of. Why don't you like shooting at Openrange?
because they won't let me shoot steel or aluminum ammo.
One of the major complaints we get here at Openrange is we don't allow certain type of ammunition to be fired. Predominantly, people complain about not allowing steel or aluminum cased ammo to be shot here. And there's a reason for that. One, we recycle the brass here at Openrange. We're trying to do our best for the environment and our employees here at Openrange. Now, we could pull out the steel cased ammo by using a large magnet, but unfortunately aluminum is not a ferrous metal and we couldn't pull it out with a magnet. We would have to actually hand sort through all of the spent brass that's on the floor, and unfortunately that's just not feasible here at Openrange. We also don't allow any kind of shot to be fired here at Openrange. Now, we have no problem with you bringing your shotgun to shoot here. You can shoot it both on the pistol or on the rifle range, but we will require slugs only. Problem with the shot is it tends to go anywhere and everywhere, and unfortunately with the distances on our range, we can't ensure that you're hitting the backstop at all times and not the wall or the ceiling or the lights or anything that might cost you money and us maintenance time. The last type of restriction we have is tipped ammo. Now we're talking about any of the rifle ammo that has either a green or a black or a red tip on it. Things like tracer ammunition, 8.55 steel core, or any of the armor piercing rounds. And it's primarily because our backstop is not rated for that type. Also, your steel cased rifle ammunition tends to be all steel projectile as well. If you have any doubts about whether your ammunition is allowed or not, bring it in, we'll tell you. If you want to be at home, take a large magnet over your ammunition. If it sticks to any portion of your ammunition, you cannot fire it here at Openrange. So why don't you like shooting at Openrange?
Because they won't let me put my bag on the back wall.
If you're bringing a lot of different firearms here at Openrange, there is a safe place to put your bags. Let's go down to both pistol and rifle and show you how it's done properly. So why don't you like shooting at Openrange?
I don't like people watching me. It's creepy.
Some people don't like to be watched while they're shooting a gun. Here at Openrange, we always have a range safety officer on duty that's available to make sure that you're not having any unsafe actions, not doing any rules violations, or if you have any jams or malfunctions, they can help correct those issues. Other ranges you go may not have those. Here at Openrange, we find it much safer to have a range safety officer available to correct these issues. Our range safety officers here at Openrange come from a multitude of backgrounds. We've got military, law enforcement, and competitive shooters, or in some cases, all three. They're there to make sure you have a safe and a fun experience. So if they have to say something to you, it's because you're either doing a rules violation, maybe you're doing something unsafe, or maybe they just have some helpful advice for you. They're there to make sure you have a safe and a fun experience.
the views of hatred expressed by actors who really love open range, but to get the point across that there is a method to our madness, and if you really want to leave with the same number of holes you came with, our wonderful staff is here to ensure your safety. From time to time, we all could use a reminder on the safety rules as we become complacent with shooting by ourselves. We understand that not everyone loves rules. We are dealing with firearms here, and rules keep us and those around us safe. And really, the rules are set up so you can have a blast and continue to have a blast well into the future.